how do you think you can help the team improve based on what you did in the first two games, and how can you do that better?
I mean, I think we all need to play better, obviously, after the first couple games. There's a lot of things that we can clean up. Obviously, we all want to shoot a little better, move around a little more, try to make things harder for them.
There's been a mixed reaction when we asked guys who were on the team last year to compare last year to this year. You weren't here last year, so what's this experience been like for you just to be a part of this team and realize, how good you've been and have this challenge? How do you view it?
I mean, we haven't won the first two games, obviously, but it's been amazing for me. I've really enjoyed playing these games and being around this environment, and I'd really, really like to win. That would make this an amazing experience. But it's just this. You don't want to get too caught up in all that's going on around you because you have a job to do and you want to focus. But at the same time, it's an awesome experience.
The first two games of last year's series were lopsided as well on the scoreboard. Same thing this year. But do you feel like the games have been what the scores would indicate, or do you feel like it's a closer series?
I think it's been the second halves have kind of gotten away from us a little bit. I think they've had too many kind of 10-point runs on us, especially in the second half. And I think we felt at halftime last game that we played a pretty good half. In the second half, it just got away from us a little bit, and they're a team that's definitely capable of doing that. I think the hope is, to be at home and to have our crowd, cheering us on. We can limit those a little more and hopefully play a little better.
At this point in the series, do the X's and O's kind of take a back seat to just energy and guys stepping up?
Yeah, I mean, there's energy and guys stepping up, and I think there's, you got to play smart. You can't just get lost in the moment and lose your mind and play as hard as you can. I mean, that's not going to get it done either, We have to be smart. We have to use our, we have a lot of veteran guys who've been around, guys who won championship last year. We need to rely on that. We got to go out there and play smart and not let them do the things that help them get going.
Is there a certain comfort about being at home on the home court, and how does that, or how can that translate into your play or the team's play overall?
Yeah, I think teams are typically better at home. Whether it's the regular season or the playoffs or whatever it is, there's a reason for that. We have amazing fans here, fans that can spur us on. Obviously, cheer when you make a good play, but also cheer you on to make the good play. And so I think that's the hope tonight. And at the end of the day, we got to play a better game. We got to play a smarter game. We got to limit their runs. And if we do that, we feel like we're going to be right there.
There's been a lot of conversation about the Warriors' offense, but what stands out about them defensively?
I mean, people talk about their offense all the time. I think they've been the best defensive team in the NBA for the last few years, or one of the best. They do a great job of helping in the pick and roll, helping on isolations without overcommitting. They do a good job of running you off the three and making you get to that second side. And that's been one of our weaknesses this year, is that second side action, So give them a ton of credit, obviously, but we definitely feel like there's things that we can do better.
Harry talked yesterday about the windows being shorter, that you've got usually used to a few seconds to make a shot, and now he's got a split second to make a shot before it closes again. How have you experienced that?
I think it just goes, they're a really well-coached team. They're a very smart team. They do a good job of, like I said, showing help, but then closing back out. They're a very versatile team. They can switch a lot of things. They have a lot of guys who can guard, different people, big, smalls. That's part of what makes them special.
You've played against them pre-Durant and now post-Durant. How does he change them defensively?
Well, I mean, he's maybe the longest guy on the court. Off the top of my head, he's right there. He's obviously in isolations, he's able to contest. He's up at the rim, being able to contest there. He's able to get in passing lanes. I think if you're 7 feet and you're engaged, you can be a great defender. And I think just adding to who they already are, obviously that's a huge plus for them.
With the contributions that you and Darren made in the postseason, is the finals just a whole different beast, and you kind of just have to get your feet wet in order to get used to it, or is it the same thing to you?
Yeah, no, I think for sure. I mean, there's probably a little bit of that, you know. I think for me personally, I mean, we've had these long breaks in between series, and I hadn't been very good in any series in game 1 and 2, as far as making shots. I mean, just, you know, it's a rhythm thing. And so I'm hoping as the series goes on that for me, you know, get some more looks and be able to knock them down.
Was there a moment, though, you said, I can't get sucked up in the aura and the atmosphere, when you told yourself, you know, you got to snap out of it?
Yeah, no, I think that was just game 1. I think, you know, the thing that you don't think about when you think about the finals, you know, it's just everything else that comes with it and all the waiting. You know, all this waiting between games and between series and all the conversations, you know, with you guys and with each other. And it's like, man, let's get this ball up in the air, let's go play. And I think, so to have game 1 finally come, I think that for me, that was like, the ball went up and it's like, okay, now we can just play basketball again. But there's a lot going on between games here.
Do you guys still talk about believing that you can win this series? And
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the advantages of, you know, being in the finals, this team, the 3rd year in a row, and the series. I mean, they were down 0-2 every year, right? I think.
No, it was 1-1.
1-1 in the first year. Last year, I'd be down 0-2, down 3-1. I mean, there's been 1,000 conversations about that. And, you know, we got to get one first. You know, we got to get this one at home, and then we'll just keep building from there. But the series is far from over. We know that.